Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to ETS2 Trucker for Hire. In the previous episode, we arrived again in Ireland, but this time to Wexford. We came from Birmingham, discovered Cardiff, Swansea, and Fishguard, as well as Wexford, landing here. So this time, I think let's go explore more of Ireland and go from Wexford this time, passing through not really Dublin, but nearby. Passing through the M50, taking the M4, crossing over to the M6, and ending up in Galway. Yeah, so we'll be driving a Volvo FH today. Not the new one, it's the... What year was it? The one from 2009, I think. Yeah, I think that's the one. And it's been a while since I drove this, so I think it's gonna be perfect. And we have a fancy GPS there. So this is a truck that was customized from the Improved Company Trucks mod by Alexei P. We have 12% damage, we have a cracked windshield. It's not in the best condition, but we'll make it work, definitely. And we have Xeon lights, why not? Now I did revert back to the automatic transmission because this truck, from what I know, does have an automatic transmission in it. Right, so we'll be carrying some peanut butter to sell plan. I love peanut butter. You guys love peanut butter? Hopefully you do. I love the look of the truck though. It's been pretty customized. And that's a real company, right? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Dach, sir? I have no clue. Don't quote me on anything. Oh, I love those indicator sounds. That sounds exactly like driving bro when he's driving this kind of Volvo. This old Volvo FH, not the new one. I think I'll just open my... Actually, you know what? Let me turn off my lights totally like that. It is a beautiful morning, and I think the lights are taking away from the sunlight, the beautiful sunlight, and the rays. If we do that, although I don't think we have any DRLs, so let's do that instead. Yeah, let's turn on our park lights. I love that castle. Or at least it looks like a castle. A tower, maybe. Love that. Oh man. It must be such a refreshing feeling for many of you that finally Ireland is out. I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for it. Me personally, not so much, because I'm not really from Ireland. I'm all the way from Asia, from the Philippines, now living in Singapore. So I don't relate to it too much, but I do imagine how great a feeling it is to have something finally come out. Because UK has been out ever since ETS2, but Ireland, it's not in the base game at all. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking like there's something missing in the UK region. And then after a while I noticed, oh yeah, there's no Ireland. Yeah, how come? I don't know, but at least now it's here, thanks to ProMods. You guys rock. Looks like a huge roundabout coming up. I am still in economy mode, real adaptive transmission, however you call it, something like that. So hopefully it works better this time, because previously I went back to, if you remember in the previous episode, I went back to manual transmission because the shifting was crappy. It was staying above the green range, and even though it didn't really need to, so just some derpy things happening. I'm not sure if it was a bug or it was just not too compatible with the gearbox of the truck. Maybe that was it. So far this truck seems to be performing quite well. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, 80 kilometer speed limit here, which is 50 miles. We still have a UK setup truck here. Whoa, bro, look at how he ate our lane there. Oh, I love this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, sorry guys. As early as this, I would have to take a photo. Because that is just something completely awesome looking. Oh, it's a bit too bright though. Yeah, it's a bit too bright. It might not work, but let's try. Oh, it does work. It does work as a dramatic shot like that. I can show more of the road actually. Let me see. If I go wider, it's too much. If I go just like that, that works much better. I show this. That bend, actually that bend looks nice, huh? Loch Garman, Wexford. Yeah, this is actually a pretty nice view, that one. Although we hardly see our truck anymore, but still, right? Still. That is one breathtaking view. Let's take that. And just for completeness, let me also take something close by. Something like that, which features our truck. How about from here? Will we see the water from here? I do love the color of that truck. In case you didn't know, I do love blue colors most of the time. So whenever you ask my opinion, I would take blue almost always. Okay, good. Lots of deers in this area. Maybe like wild animals crossing the road. I wish there was something like that in the game, you know, just to add a bit of spice. And you would have to either brake or I don't know. Otherwise you'd get some damage or some penalty. Maybe not penalty, but some damage. Because they are crossing out of line after all. Can we just glide through? Not really sure. Right, let's keep it there. Yeah, this is a pretty unique. I mentioned this in the previous episode. I find this kind of road layout pretty unique, having those yellow dotted lines on the side. It's very weird to me. Very weird looking. But I guess it's a matter of getting used to. And it does make the borders a lot clearer. Oh, I love that engine. I love that engine braking thing. That sounds exactly like driving Bro's truck. Okay, and from here, we turn right. Can I stay here? Not sure if I should. Probably take the inner lane. Yeah, this one will do. Oh, I kind of remember this area. I think Squirrel drove through here, but when he drove here before, that road was closed still, if that was the same intersection. So maybe now it's fixed because it's a later version. Maybe, huh? And look at this Volvo dealer, although it's a car dealer, looks like. So it's not, you can't really buy a truck from there. It's not registered as such. Right, looking good. So far, I am enjoying driving this truck a lot more than the new Actros we drove in the previous episode. Don't know why. Maybe I'm a bit biased because it's the truck driving bro drives, and I do enjoy watching his videos. Gives you a real insight on how real truck drivers work, and how the real trucks behave, and how they sound. All the little quirks, all the small details that you don't notice when you're just driving in a simulator. So of course you can't get all the details, but yeah, in a real real life video, you get that exposure. And it's a very good exposure actually. It's an eye-opening experience. I highly suggest you check out Driving Bro if you don't know him yet. So it's Driving Bro, one word. Driving Bro as in brother. And he has a lot of trucking videos. A lot of people in the channel who are watching me also watch him. Alright, let's slow down here and engine brake as early as we can. I love that engine braking. Don't you like the sound of that? That guy was signaling left, but he didn't exit. So it's his fault that I ate his lane. M11. Sure thing, let's enter that one. Oh, I love the highways here in Ireland. Absolutely ProMods level. Okay, here we go again with the gear though. I'm not really sure if it will be smarter than the previous one. We're going past the green range and it's shifting up. Okay, that's perfect. Just a little above the green range is fine because it's uphill, so it's understandable. And then from here I think we can just glide. So I am seeing a bit downhill there up ahead. I'm looking at the throttle, the needle, the speedometer. Yeah, it looks like we are accelerating slowly. We're at 45 miles now. Speed limit is 50 miles. Although we are... Okay, it's gone. Step on the gas again. Yeah, so it's a bit of a good balance between knowing when to step on the gas and just let it glide through for eco-friendliness, you know? Eco driving 101. Yeah. So before I wasn't really that much interested in eco driving, but since I started watching Driving Bros vids, it makes a lot of sense, you know. And it adds a completely new level of detail in it. It's so practical. You know, you help protect the environment. You don't burn as much fuel. You spend less because you need less fuel, and it's an exciting prospect. What are these guys doing? No! Didn't stop. That's his fault. At least we didn't hit the sports car. Yeah, it seems like there was a problem there with the merging. Typical AI behavior. Nothing to do with the road or anything. Alright, moving on. Did we get any damage on our trailer? Not really. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Also, I didn't repair my truck. So I'm not really sure if we won't be able to reach our highest gear. When we get to a 60, I doubt we'll get to a 60 speed limit here though. It would probably be just 50 because they're using kilometers per hour. And usually for kilometers per hour, they're stuck at 80 kilometers because they have this... trucks have a speed limiter now, right? They can only go up to 80 kilometers. Oh crap, that's the other thing. Engine malfunction. Yeah, forgot about that one. Maybe we do need to visit a repair shop. Okay, can I glide through? Not really. It's not as slopey as I would want. Yeah, look, even the shoulder looks different. It really has a yellow dotted line instead of the usual white solid line, which would indicate the shoulder or the edge of the road. It appears that in the Republic of Ireland they have that kind of road marking instead. Pretty cool. Oh, I like that. Now there's a Scania truck dealer there, but it's not classified as a dealer. It's more of just a prop. Okay, good. I wonder where we're going. Oh, going straight. Okay, it's pretty clear. I think I should stay more on the left a bit, especially when turning, because the left is just a shoulder. No one will be passing through there. At least no one should. So long as I don't eat this right lane here and don't block the way for other people. Man, to think that the ProMods team built all of this, because they're now we're for sure not in any default SCS area, because Ireland doesn't exist in default SCS world. M50 or M11, We're taking the middle one, it seems, because that left side is going to curve to the right. For us, we are going straight and turning to the left. Okay, makes sense. One of those pretty confusing interchanges, but makes sense once you get used to it. It's practical. I do like the junctions here though. Yeah, they're very exciting to drive in. Oh crap, here we go again. We saw this in the previous episode. Like they were slowing down, probably because of that bridge. Like they were treating it as an intersection where they have to slow down, even if it was above. That might be an AI limitation. I'm not sure if ProMods can do anything about that. Maybe they need to make the bridge higher? I don't know. I don't seem to recall having that kind of behavior in other bridges though. But maybe I just didn't notice. Not really sure. Maybe it's a prefab issue. Not sure. If anyone from ProMods is watching, can you let me know what that is? If that's fixable or if it's a limitation because of the AI behavior. Crap, engine malfunction. Good, there we go. Let's have a look at our fuel consumption. 6 miles per gallon, that's very good. If we reach 8, I'm going to be a very happy bunny. Okay, looks like another pretty cool intersection coming up. And we should be staying on this side. Yeah, got that one. Oh, look at this. Look at that monstrosity there. I like this. Oh, that looks pretty nice. Yeah, like that example, there was a bridge up top, but the cars weren't slowing down. Maybe the game sees that as a different road. That's why it works. Okay, we can turn left here. No biggie. Okay, let's stay in the inner lane because this truck is eating up the entire space. Okay, I think I can merge now. Man, but I'm really enjoying this drive. And you can really see the difference. In the previous episode when we were driving in the default SCS roads, the prehistoric SCS roads, versus this level of detail and quality, you definitely feel the difference, especially when you're driving. You probably see it too, guys, don't you? Yeah, but I'm really enjoying this one. So good, man. I can feel the hype. Oh, this one, yeah. So they do have Ireland does have the yellow, the dash, no, the solid lines. I wonder when it changes. If anyone's familiar with the Irish road layouts, the Irish road markings, do let me know in the comments, right? What's the difference? Why is it that sometimes you have a dotted line on the side, the yellow dotted line, and this time you have a solid yellow line? That would be pretty interesting to know. Yeah, I mentioned this in the previous episode, but here in Singapore I was really curious about some of the road markings. You have some pretty strange road markings, which I guess majority came from the UK. But yeah, I actually bought a handbook, which is something that some drivers, when someone is learning to drive here in Singapore, when they're applying for their license, they need to take a test. And I think the reading material or one of the reading materials for that test, that written exam, is the handbook that I bought, which details all the road markings, what the signs mean, everything. I bought one of those just so I would understand, because I was really curious, even though I wouldn't really drive here in Singapore because it's only for the rich folks. Cars here are so expensive, if you didn't know that. Like the car itself, alright, you buy it, fine, but you need to buy like I think they call it a COE, certificate of entitlement, or correct me if I'm wrong there, if you're familiar with that, but I'm not too familiar with it. I just know that the government sell these permits, and they get super expensive. Like, they sometimes are twice the price of the actual car. So you would have to pay like the car and then twice its amount in addition. Wait a minute. Is this the right one? I think it's a dead end. This one is dead end, huh? Wait a minute, let me see. Yeah, that's the problem with having... Yeah, I think that's a problem. I think we should have gone there on the left, M6. Let me see if there's an invisible wall. Let's feel through it little by little. The M4. It actually detected me driving on the other side there. I would expect to hit through an invisible wall anytime soon. Yeah, because this one is going to the right. And we needed to go to that side. Okay, that was a bit confusing. Yeah, I guess I can't disable it though, because I have that immersion mod, which combines all the mods together. No boundaries, no flashing lights, no floating symbols, everything. So let me go here on the side and let's jump to that one. Yeah, if possible, I would like to remove the no boundaries mod, because it's been biting me a lot in these episodes, because everything is new and not really familiar with the area. So the boundaries really help, especially if there's like an invisible wall up ahead. There we go. Start there. Make it right. What was that sound? Sounded like a dinosaur. Yeah, that's where we went. That side. So what was I talking about? The road signs, the car, yeah. So they hand out these permits, and you would have to buy them. And you might be thinking, what the heck? That's like, why does the government need to do that? But it actually makes a lot of sense, because Singapore is a very, very small country, and so there's only a very limited space here. That's why real estate is super expensive. But that also means they have limited space on the roads, and so how they control the number of cars on the road is they have these permits, and they make it expensive so that not everyone will be driving. People will be more encouraged to take the public transport, which is, in my opinion, more than enough. Like, public transportation here, so good. You don't really need a car in this area, in this country. But yeah, if you have the money, then buy it. It's like a luxury item. I think that's also the reason why, those surveys, like in which country is it the most expensive to live in? The cost, which country is the most, the cost of living is the highest. Usually it's Singapore at the top, but that's mainly because they include the cost of the car and the permit. So if you remove that, Singapore is expensive, but maybe not as expensive as others. But because the car factor is included in that computation, it makes Singapore the most expensive one. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense in my opinion, because if we had that in Manila, in the Philippines, then it would also solve a lot of the traffic problems. But to be honest, it wouldn't really apply in the Philippines, because if you limit it like that, yes, only there will be a limited number of people who will be driving, but then the public transportation is not really capable of absorbing that much. Like, currently in the Philippines, the public transportation isn't the best. There are a lot of issues, and this looks like a very nice view. Nice construction area in here. What the heck is that? What the heck was that? It seemed like the guys, the construction workers, were having some fun, having some audio. They maybe brought a boombox with them, an audio system, and then was just playing those boomy, subwoofery sounds while they were working. Maybe that was an Easter egg. I have no clue. That's nice. I hope I don't get any copyright issues there, but that was a bit short anyway, so it should be just fine. Oh, I love that. I love that. Let me see. Oh, look at that. Car in front. It's stopping. Or it's going very slow. I'm not sure if it was because of the overpass up ahead. Okay, let's turn on our cruise control here. I think we're good with the cruise control at 50. What I like about this truck is the speedometer. The dials are very visible. Like normally you wouldn't be able to see it, you would have to zoom in. But this truck in particular, that kind of dashboard, you don't really need a digital speedometer because you can easily see the number of miles, your speed in your revs. I like it that way. It's pretty old school, relying on the analog needle instead of having to have a digital speedometer. I love this tour. I love this trip. So nice, these highways. Man, I can only imagine how long it took. No wonder Ireland took so long to go out, because it's been under development for quite some time, right, by ProMods. But finally it's out. And finally we get to see the level of detail, the quality of the highways and the sceneries in this area. Man, I am enjoying this a lot. So much. It's a beautiful drive all throughout. So relaxing as well. Hope you guys are having a good time so far. Having a chill time. That's the goal at least. Not to have too many adrenaline pumping scenes. Maybe one, maybe some exciting stuff here and there, like in the previous episode. In the previous episode, we've had a lot of exciting stuff happening for sure. Do we need fuel? Not really. Halfway there. Yeah, we're good to go. Add blue. Add blue we also have around half. So I think the game fills up the add blue at the same time as the fuel. I'll have to check that out next time. When I fuel up, when I gas up here, does add blue also get full? Because I was told in the comments that there's actually a separate, like you also fill it up in the gas station, but there's like a separate terminal for it. Terminal may not be the best term, but you get what I mean, I guess. A different pumping station, yeah, that's the one. But maybe in the same fuel station. Different pump, yeah, that's the one. So you see here, we have these solid yellow lines again. When does it become dashed? That would be pretty interesting to find out. So in the dashed, that means you can go, I don't know, I don't get it. I do like what I'm seeing though. This is a pretty good scene. Yeah, definitely. The roads are wide enough. You have 2 lanes each. Sometimes you go in 3 lanes. Pretty spacious. Lots of details. Wherever you look, the frame rate is very good. Yeah. It should be okay. And if you look here, in the 2 episodes ago, I got a comment that the area from Liverpool to the docks was a bit blurry. I mean, the bitrate was bad, so there was a bit of artifacts happening, so it wasn't too high quality. I think, and I mentioned this in the previous episode, I think it was mainly because of the amount of detail on the roads, on the grass, on the bushes. So when you have a grainy picture, the video compression has a hard time doing its job when you have a grainy picture. So you tend to get a very high requirement for it, And with the bitrate that we have, you see here, braking again, probably because of that bridge. It's slowing down because it's detecting that as an intersection. That shouldn't be. Maybe we can still fix that, hopefully. So yeah, when it's grainy, video compression can't work so much, so it tends to exceed the limit of the video quality, the bitrate in short. Roundabout coming up. Let's go and brake. Not stepping on the brakes at all. Perfect. Although I think it's going a bit slow now. And maybe I should have been on the other side. My bad. Can I just squeeze in? Apparently that new Beetle didn't want to give way. Well, that was his mistake. You don't squeeze in to a truck. Everybody knows that. When a truck squeezes in, you give way. Because you don't want to go head to head against a massive thing like this. Definitely not. Right. But yes, and so I forget what I was talking about. Yeah, the green. Yeah. So I think in that area, the road had super grainy, super high textures, and the grass and the trees had super high textures, and it was very detailed, very grainy, and so all in all, the bitrate couldn't catch up, and so it started getting a bit less clear than usual. I think it was still visible. I mean, nothing got smudged or anything, but you just see the difference, and I think some people noticed that, but I hope it's not too much of a big deal. I don't think there's anything much I can do about it though, because it's more or less. Wait a minute, I have a couple of things in there. I want to turn right first. Good. I cannot see the traffic light though. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I can't do much about that because the video is already super large. I think around 8 to 16 gigs per episode. So it fills up quite quick. My drive. Hope this works. Yeah, I think it should be okay. Customer expects delivery on time. Okay. Don't worry, I'm here. Let me see. We're almost there, right? Yeah, we're there. So we can just loop around like that. Explore Galway as well. Does time go by fast here? Hopefully not. 1:04 p.m. You have 2 hours. And yeah, it's still 1:04 p.m. So time is more or less realistic in this area. Because in the highways, time goes by so fast, but in cities, it's usually slower, much slower. Although the traffic light is much slower as well, it seems. There we go. And it does seem like, yeah, I noticed that in the previous episode, like in the Republic of Ireland, the lights go yellow, the lights go amber before it goes green. What is this? Iveco. Ah, nice. Okay, cool. Could do that. Oh man, not again. Oof, almost. Okay, let's have a look. 6.7 miles per gallon. Not too bad. Didn't reach the 8 to 12. But I guess I'm not sure if you can actually manage that in ETS2. In real life, maybe. In ETS2, maybe if you're really lucky, or maybe if you have a max economy skill. I'm not really sure if that plays any part in the fuel consumption exactly, where you get a higher rating, a better fuel mileage, fuel consumption score there. Yeah, and I mentioned this previously as well. It's something on my wish list. I really want to have like a scoring system, especially for eco driving. Like if you watch Driving Bro, he has like in their company they have this computer which gets their stats, like if you're speeding, if you're rolling, if you're cruising just fine. Oh crap, red light. Yes, I know. I really want to deliver it already. But hey, oh my bad. Didn't see the aisle. Okay, so yeah, they have this computer which records their stats, how much they're gliding, how much they're just gliding through like this, and letting off the gas and just letting it decelerate or accelerate on its own. Things like that. Everything that contributes to eco-friendly driving. And so you are more conscious and you try to do a better job of it because you're getting scored. It would be awesome if at the end of each trip, with the stats, those stats are also available for us here in the game. That would be really awesome because I think it's possible. I think there is not much, there's no technical limitation. It's because the game is already recording all these stats. In a way, they have the they can gather the raw, they call this raw stats because there is the telemetry and everything. So it's just a matter of compiling them. What does that sound? Compiling them and making them into this fuel economy score, and all the different stats. That would be awesome. That would be brilliant. Maybe it can even be done in a plugin, because we do have the telemetry plugin, SDK plugin. So if someone knows how to interpret the plugin, like how it was done for the force feedback plugin, that basically does it like, oh, that truck looks beautiful. Oh, amazing truck. I love that. Yeah, that's how it was done in the force feedback plugin. They basically, or the guy who did it, sorry, I forgot who, but I'm using his plugin right now. I love it. He interprets everything that the game throws out. Alright, for example, is the truck moving? How fast is it moving? What kind of surface it's driving at? So all those information, all that info is gathered by the game and thrown by the SDK. So it's given out. It is reported in that SDK, or in that telemetry SDK. So you can capture it and you can know what's happening. So if you know what's happening, then you can get all the raw stats, on your own, and then do something about it. Make it like an eco-friendly score, and then maybe make a third-party application that records it. That would be awesome. I mean, I don't have the capacity or capability to do that. I don't have the time to do it, and I don't have the time to study the telemetry SDK. But if someone can do that, that would be like a real boon to the community. I'm sure that would add so much more to the game. And if you know something that already exists, something like that, do let me know, because I would for sure try it out. Yeah, but I think, I just thought about that now. We might not even need SES for that. We might be able to do it ourselves. Right, there we go. I'm just moving to the right here, because I am on the right hand truck. So it's easier for me if I steer to the right and just reverse while peeking my head out like this. Okay, should be pretty straightforward, although might be doing it a bit wrong though, because I can't see the front cones. Not sure if I'm on the right angle. Hopefully the front cones come out soon. Can't see it. I think I'm too much on the right. Oh, it's good. It's good. Huh, how the heck did that get accepted? That's like as off as it could be. But that's fine. Anyway, I'll take that. Cool. Wexford to Galway. I'll take that, and I'll take that level. Thank you very much. Can I get that skill point, please? There we go. Can we get some echo driving, maybe? Or do I want ADR? I guess I can go with ADR. Flammable solids. Nah, let's go with echo driving. Just one level, and let's see if our score will improve in general. 10% of fuel saved. I think that works for us, right? Anyway, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that episode. Pretty nice length as well, just perfect 40 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates, and do let me know what you think. If you had any comment along the road, along the way when I was talking, when you saw something, if you saw a bug, if you wanted to clarify something, do let me know in the comments, and I'll happily comment and reply back, right? And I might even reflect it in game, right? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This is the Clumsy Geek signing off. Clumsy trucking, everyone. Bye bye.